Howdy guys, how we doing? Welcome back to another video of Westland Survival. How we doing? Hope you guys are well. So as you can see, I am in the deep water and we are going to head over to the Cultist Camp is what we're doing right now. So yes, I know I did this a little while back. I went through the Cultist Camp and I noticed something a little bit peculiar. So I wanted to redo this just to affirm my suspicion in saying when the devs mentioned that they had made the deep water a lot easier for a lot of us. I wanted to retest that theory for myself. So let's go ahead and, well, test that theory basically. So we're going to go in, we're going to sort everyone else in the deep water out. Now this time round I've bought only two bits of clothing, so I'm thinking if it is easier, we should be able to get by with just two sets of clothing. And I think that's to me, I think that's probably a fair assumption in terms of saying that, because I feel like we can potentially get through this a little bit easier if that's the case. So yeah, that's my theory behind this. But also I wanted to sort of discuss why I think they have actually made this a lot easier. So yeah, we'll get into that in a little moment, but I wanted to sort of go through this with you guys today, and yeah, other bits and pieces as to where the hell that I've been. I know it's been actually, you know what, when this video goes out, probably been about a good couple of weeks since I have posted anything Westland related. And no, I have not abandoned the game or anything like that. Probably by the time you see this video anyway, this will probably be the second video for the week. So you guys are gonna get a bit of a double whammy. Yes, I am a little bit excited. I'm stumbling on my words here because, you know, I do love playing this game. I really do, and I really want to, affirm that with a lot of you people too. So, yes, I know there's been a few people talking about bits and pieces here and there. So I just wanted to be a little bit upfront with everything. Yes, I'm playing a new game. I am, and I've said it a few times in some of my videos. And if you guys haven't heard about it, it's called American Survival. So the game itself is another game coming out of the developers that make Westland. So Helio Games have made a brand new game. So that's basically where things are at. I think I could probably get away with that, can I? Actually, no, I won't, because, oh yes, actually, I think that gives us just a little bit on, yeah, we're just under full. So there you go. Haha, there you are. Look at me go. And I keep forgetting every time that I come here, I don't bring a pet with me. I don't know why I do that, but I do that. I don't understand. I do not understand myself. But look, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. Alright, so yeah, American Survival. It is a brand new game out of Helio. They've just gone through their first update, which I think it's 0.3 for them. And yeah, these guys, look, I think it's more for them showing off their creative side of things. It is a little bit of a different direction. It's not a Mutiny. It's not a Westland Survival remake or anything of that nature. Yes, they are, because it is the same developer. Yes, they are using a lot of the gaming assets found in your Mutinies and your Westlands of the world, but I think it gives them a little bit flexibility in reusing some of those assets, you know. So I think that's that's a good thing for them. But more importantly, it probably speeds up their production, and I feel like that's a good thing for them. So look, they've only done one update. There's really not a lot that we can sort of go into depth with at the moment, but I figured we just oh jeez, there's a few of these fellas coming out here. Yeah, I feel like it's a good opportunity to try something new and just see how you go. Because if you guys want to be, one of the first to play the game, play it, because we get a lot of new players coming in Westland every single day, and they're all at various stages within their gaming cycle. So, if you want to try and get onto the try to get onto the I wouldn't say leading edge of it, but I mean more like if you want to sort of jump on the train earlier on, so to speak, and you guys want to be along for the ride, then I guess that's your opportunity if you want to try something different. But yeah, that's just my opinion, and I feel like I'm trying to do the same. I've done it with Westland because I am well, I would consider myself a fairly end game player, right? So I think, you know, that sort of puts me into that category, I would think, but, you know, that's just me. This is new. I don't know why this is up here, but this is definitely new. Alright, so we've got another alligator over there. Can I shoot you? Yes, I can. And we'll just take you out briefly. Thank you very much. Okay, now, this is where things are going to get serious. So let's go ahead and swap out clothing. So my tactic with this is bosses are going to use one set of clothing, and I guess for everything else, everyone else is going to be basically, you know, using the other remaining gear that I've got here. So let us get in here. And okay, cool. And let's just try and take out these alligator skis as quick as possible. And unfortunately, I don't actually have another, what do you call it? Another, actually I should have brought a, normally I would bring in a, whatchamacallit, a pet with me. Oh, here we go. Alright, let's just bring out the big guns. Okay, take out, oh Jesus, here we go. Okay, just to mature up. And let's just take out this fella here, and then we've got the big fella that's going to come out fairly soon, so we're going to need to deal with him in a minute. Alright, oh Jesus, here we go. We've got a couple of maturies. And nice, I've got a couple of passive shots of these 3 mature alligators. Yes, I am calling them alligators. Heal. Oh, here we go. We've got the big fella. Alright, so tactic with this fella is you just got to run the perimeter. That way you can try and get out of strife as soon as possible. Alright. And it's just the big alligator that we've got to deal with. There we go. Didn't use too many heals actually. Quite chuffed with that. There we go. Look at that. That wasn't actually too bad, was it? I don't think so. I think we did okay. Let's just pick up all the meats and any sort of passive damage that I had incurred to anyone else. Pick up any of their loots. And let's pick up whatever's in here. And I didn't actually take too much of a hit, to be honest with you guys. So, not too bad at all. Let's go ahead and take all of that. And head out. And as you can see, I've got those pesky bloody insects. But not to worry, I've got the not the pumpkin spice. Is it the mosquito drink? Whatever it was called. This thing, the spice coffee. There we go. Oh my god, I can't believe I've forgotten some of the stuff that I should be knowing, but that's okay. I think we're good. But honestly, the first run was pretty well tamed. So I did actually promise you guys in terms of what I was thinking about why we're going to do this today, and I think for me the biggest and as you guys would have just seen, the biggest change is obviously the making life a little bit easier whilst you're in. Let's go ahead and rechange back to what we were before. There we go. Yeah. So now that we've got tier 6 available, and it's been out for a little bit now, and I think the devs are at the stage. I think what the devs are up to now is I think they're pretty much at that point in stage where they feel that they can sort of open the floodgates. And I explained this a bunch of times when there's a brand new update and it is a massive grind to get to that new section. So let's use the steamboat. Oh Jesus, I didn't realize I was being attacked. So let's use the steamboat as the prime example, because I know a lot of people would still be in the southern to the deep water stage, right? So when they first introduced the steamboat, the requirement was that you had to get a lot of steamboat parts, right, in order for you to repair the boat that will enable you to travel to the deep water and thus exposing you to the deep water. And then obviously there's some other bits and pieces involved if you want to complete the storyline to the deep water. That's not what this is about. This is more around about you trying to get to the section of the deep water, right? So basically, in a nutshell, you had to collect certain parts and bits and pieces in order for you to get there. Now, I haven't seen it where it's at in terms of how the requirement is to get those parts, because it's been so long for me, to my knowledge, how I remember it. But basically, in order for you to do that, you had to wait for the smugglers to come past every day. At that time, it was a daily thing. I think they've increased that now, so you get it in more of a frequency. But basically, what it is, you have to purchase the parts via gold nuggets. So a lot of the prerequisites for a lot of people were, in order for you to get to that, you would have to set up or be in an active alliance that was paying golds on a frequent basis, which is all well and good, not a problem. For me, I actually still don't have my alliance fully updated yet, and I know that's something that I've been saying that I've been wanting to do for quite some time. It will happen eventually, but it is on the back burner essentially, and the main reason for that is because, well, really because of Anakin at the moment, because I really want to get myself my teeth cut into that game, and I really want to sort of be a front runner to that. That's where it's at. It's a content creator's gift and curse all at the same time. But going back to it, I never participated in involving myself in doing the whole the alliance thing. So I effectively just went over and just did it on my own merit, whereby I used up a ton of resources, got the daily golds from Silverton, and that basically enabled me to essentially pretty much get all the required parts, and away I went. But then eventually, a little while into that phase of getting all those parts, they did open up the fact that you can actually get I guess 2 every visit to the smuggling camp. So I think in that sense there, they sort of expedited the the ability for you to actually pick up those parts, and then that way it enables you to open up yourselves to the floodgate, right? So why am I explaining this? Well, because that was the rite of passage, right? That was the way that you had to have done it in order for you to until you had to did I finish this off? I have not. I think that's it. Is that it? I think so. Yeah, there's a raccoon there. Cool. So that's number 2 done. So yeah, so fast forward to heading over to the Burial Wilds. Okay. So in order for you to complete the sled up in the north, for you to open up the passage to the Burial Wilds, you need those vaccines. Now I'm not going to repeat on how to pronounce those, because it was a hell of a time for me to try and do that. I always just refer to them as vaccines. So you need vaccines. So there's 2 ways that you can get vaccines. You can get them via the merchant in the deep water, or by what we're doing today is completing the Cultist Camp. So we're already up to a point that we're going to pretty much, actually I didn't even switch clothing. There you go. Let's just roll with what we've got. So basically what we ended up doing was having to run the Cultist Camp once every week, because that's all you could get. That's all you could do it. The devs haven't changed the frequency in the time of this recording. It still hasn't changed. So once a week you can visit the Cultist Camp. So you need, you need X amount. I think it was about 50 as well. That formula didn't change, but you needed obviously other bits and pieces. So in saying that, basically we had to run this on a weekly basis, but you could, if you had all of, if you were set up in the alliances, you can get them quite sooner, because there was a merchant in the deep water that, oh Jesus, here we go, that offers you the, oh you are running up there, that offers the vaccines, and you can only get them I think once, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, but then eventually they opened that up to 2 as sort of time went on. So fast forward to today, and with one of the later updates, I believe it was the 7.5 update that triggered all of this, but anyway, they had noted that they've made the deep water easier. So why have they done that? Well, because they want a lot of people, including everyone that could be watching this video, but for people like you, like me, even if I wanted to spend time in here, I could, to run the deep water. So they've made it a little bit easier for those to do that now, because they want more people in the tier 6 location. So they've basically gotten to a point where they've stress tested with myself, with a lot of other, whether it be content creators, but more importantly, mainly endgame players. So I'm not really putting all the creators in the same category, because we do form the minority of endgame players, where there's a vast amount of endgame players that do play this game. So I guess what they've done there is they've done it in a sense that they've stress tested the new area, make sure everything's working right, ensuring that there's no bugs or anything like that. Because if they open up the floodgates essentially, and they make it where everyone is in the real wilds, and where basically, you know, playing and there's a lot of bugs and things like that, it's going to turn a lot of people off. So they've got to do it strategically to a point where they need to ensure that they have the right people playing those areas. And once they're competent and happy with their stress testing, then they open up to the masses. And this is what this is. So they wanted to lower the difficulty for the Cultist Camp. So why have they done this? And why have they actually done this in a sense where they've noted it down to everyone to advise them that it has been lowered in terms of its difficulty? Well, they need to promote the new areas, right? So that's basically where that's at. They got to promote the new areas because they want to incentivize players to keep coming in and, you know, continuing the progressional state of the game. Because if they continue to leave it as it is and not do that, it's going to deter a lot of players in terms of getting them to those type of heights of levels, right? So that is pretty much, in my opinion, where everything is at. They do it because they need to be strategic in a sense as well. Just while we're talking, I'm just going to switch over my gear to the new gear. And we shall put all of that over there. I may as well do that. I've got a full stack of heals, so we should be right for this, I think. I don't think we're going to be having any sort of issues doing this, but basically why they've done it the way they've done it is just ensuring that from a development cycle, that they've stress tested the new area and it's basically fluent, and there's not going to be any sort of major issues, if any. And then that way they can allow more players coming into the game by lowering the standard of the current areas, making it a little bit easier, making the progression a little bit more linear, and that allows more players to you know, come back to these areas and, you know, continue to play the game effectively. And that's basically where things are at. That's how I see it. I would imagine a lot of people would have their own interpretation to this, but my interpretation to this is more essentially around basically relinquishing the highest standard of the now highest possible area that you could go to, which was the Cultist Camp. It basically, for me, I feel like so far everything that I've done, and we're about to do the boss battle now, and you guys obviously are going to see how easier how it has been compared to other times in the game. So let's continue and smash down this fella here, and I'll make him disappear in a moment because these two minions are really annoying. So if we can just draw him out a little bit. Do you want to come out? No? Okay. So we'll just take out one of the Cultist snipers. Thank you. Other Cultist sniper, thank you very much. Because these guys are... Can you shoot him? Thank you very much. They're the only two that you can attack. And I'm getting myself creamed at the moment because... There you go. Unfortunately, I'm not using the most optimal pathway. But, you know, look, worst case scenario, of course. As you can see, we are doing it. We are doing the job. Mr. Laurie the Pyro, you are an absolute pain in my side, but look, I know we will get you. We will get you in a sense. Yes, yes, yes. Anyway, going back to it. As you can see. Alright, so let's just stick to the way. Whoop. As I said, as I was going to say, try to sort of get on the front foot here and making sure that he is not attacking me. There we go. You sort of get into that cycle where you can actually just run about and you don't really need to worry too much about those damaging explosions that he does. But anyway, going back to it, as you can see, I have pretty much successfully taken this fella out. He's basically done now as it is. As you can see, didn't really take me too much effort to you know, to get him killed, but honestly, I think I've done okay. And I say this only because I've only taken two bits of clothing with me. So basically 1.5, call it. When you look at the durability side of things between the first and second sets, I probably use about 1.5 of the sheriff's outfit, and I reckon potentially I could probably get by using even the gunfighter's outfit. So I might even look at doing a minimum requirement video for the Cultist Camp now that it's sort of been updated. But as you can see, I didn't really stress myself out too much, and I really only use the Schofield for the most part. So, you know, as you can see, it's quite an easy adventure now. And I think, and this is what I'm sort of trying to explain in this video. And the point of the video is more now saying that you go, ooh, hello. We've got the conveyor drive. This would be compatible with a repair bench. Okay. Ooh, that's a good one. That means I can do 2 items at one time. Ooh, yeah, that's a good pickup. I'm happy with that. And Riveter, okay, more durability on crafted boots, which is not a bad little shout there, but see if we can take all of that. Looks like I can't take all of that, but I'm going to have to do some running back and forth. But yeah, like I said to you guys, I feel like this game has made it a little bit easier now to do most of the game. So at least a good, you know, 75% of the game now, because the 25% now sits within the Boreal Wilds. And in addition to that, not only that they've made this area a little bit easier, I haven't even gone into any of the other, like the other places like the salt mines, Cypress Whale, or even the Bayou, right? I would imagine that some of their, I guess, strengths have been debuffed as well, so they're not as hard or difficult to complete. I mean, if they've debuffed the most, what was the most difficult area to go into, then you would imagine that the other areas would have followed suit too. So that's just my my observation in saying all of that. So I feel like that they could have, or they would have done that as well. In you know, I probably would think not as severely as they've done it here in the Boreal Wilds. But look, I feel like it probably would be a fair assessment to make if that's the case. So I feel like that could be store all. There we go, and I should have enough to pick up everything else back in the main loots. So yeah, so there you go, and also you get the first, my first look at seeing two gears getting picked up in a tier 5 area. So there you have it, because I didn't actually do that the last time, I think, from my understanding. I think I did that just before the update released. So there you have it. But yeah, that's how I think, and that's how I feel, how everything has sort of, I guess, unfolded in a sense. And it's a good thing, because it's not just the level difficulty being decreased, but because now you also have the ability to do the storyline quests as well, which is basically similar to like that of a battle style version of that, where there's no time limit, but you can actually continue on along your merry way in the new areas. If you've made it to tier 5, then that's the storyline that you'll take for that moment. But if you've conquered all the others and you're at Boreal Wilds, that's the only one that you're going to get, and vice versa. If you're only just starting out, then you've got all these battle quest style events to look forward to, and that's going to give you a ton of resources, but also give you a better progressional step as you're going along in your adventures as well. So it's all tied in nicely now, and I feel like the rebalance has sorted a lot of the player difficulty out, in my opinion. And I'm just excluding the Boreal Wilds in that in this conversation, but it's more anything from your tier 1s to tier 5s that will basically allow a lot of players to gear up, get yourselves up and running and prepared, more importantly, to go over to the Boreal Wilds. And then that'll be your, I guess, your quote-unquote hard area, as opposed to, you know, the deep water. But I'm going to remain optimistic, because I feel like there's going to be other areas of the deep water, because I feel like it's so expansive, and I feel like that's going to be something that's going to happen, you know. Whether it's going to happen anytime soon or not, I have no idea, but I feel like it's going to happen, you know, in a not too far distant future. I don't know any sort of inklings or anything like that. I'm not privy to that or privileged to that information, unfortunately, but I feel like the fact that they've gotten the tier 6 areas out the way a lot earlier into the year gives me that, I guess, that hope that we could potentially see something towards the latter stage of the year, or it could mean that it might happen around this time next year. Oh, sorry, timing of early next year when tier 6 was made available. Could it be a potential tier 7 or just an expansion of zones? Who knows? But you know, it remains to be seen. I think it just remains to be seen. But that's just my humble opinion of everything. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Did you enjoy it? Did you not? Did you find this a little bit insightful? Do you have your own theories as to why they've done this? Let me know in the comment section below. But that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. As always, make sure you leave a like, comment down below, share if you can. And if you guys are new to the channel or not, and you'd like to see more, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell icon so you don't miss out on any future video. Alright guys, thank you so much. I appreciate your support as always, and as always, I will catch you guys in the next one.